So the UK is suffering from a serious problem where there are not enough insects. The insect population has dropped tremendously over the last few years. And as an avid gardener who gardens a lot, has a lot of plants blooming around his home right now, vegetables included, I figure I need to do a little more. I need to do my part. So one thing I want to look for is I want to find a hotel to give those solitary bees and other insects the opportunity and a home and a place to live. So let's go look. So let's go check out this garden center and see if they have some pre-made hotels in here. I'm not very handy, so I'm not sure if I can make some of my own, but let's see what they have. So they have a lot of different types of fertilizers in here. This is a very large garden center. Okay, I think I see what I'm looking for. All right, here's some nice little bird nests, and we're not trying to do that necessarily, bird nests, but here is what I'm looking for, and this is their just kind of little insect hotel. This is a place for those little bees to make their little home. They have this design here, and I was actually hoping for something a little bigger. I'm going to keep looking to see if they have something else. That's for birds, and I'm hoping they have something a little more because their bird feeders are really nice. Let me look on the other side here, and this is more bird feeders, and this is really nice. You could potentially take something like this and fill this with straw and different type of cotton and other materials, and that could potentially give a home to insects. You could do that, but this is actually a bird feeder. You could kind of modify it, I think, to kind of create an insect hotel out of that. So far I'm only seeing just a couple kinds of insect hotels, and let me see down low. I think this is beautiful, but I think this is still a birdhouse. You can hang on a nail. It's a pretty birdhouse, and it could potentially serve as a potential home for some insects, but that's a birdhouse. So it looks like the only option I really see as a bug hotel is this. I want to keep looking to see if they have anything else. So I made it to the hanging pot section, and I'm looking still for an insect hotel, but I don't think I'm going to find it in this particular garden center. I may have to check another one, and I was hoping that maybe I could find some. Nope, see here, that's a fencing, but I was looking for hollow tubes. Like here's one, but most of these are not hollow, and if I could find some that are hollow, then I could actually maybe make my own little insect hotel, but these are not hollow. We may actually end up having to go to a different garden center. So I've come to another garden center, and I'm going to check and see if I can find an insect hotel here. I think I've seen one here before. Let's see what they have. And so this is all I see here. And this is very similar to the last one that we looked at. It has the holes in it. This would work for solitary bees, and that's about it. But it's also a little smaller than I wanted. I want something a little larger, especially that price is a little high in my mind for something this small. I'm going to try one more garden center. Okay, so we're going into our third garden center for the day, trying to find a bug hotel, and I'm hoping I get a better result in here. The ones I've seen have been too small for the price that they want me to pay, and I don't like that. So hopefully we can find a better one in this third garden center. Okay, so here's a better option. It's called a bee house, but I like this. It's a little bit bigger, and let's check the price on it. Oh my goodness, that is so much cheaper. It's only £5, whereas the other places were charging 22 to 25 pounds, and I really like this design a lot better. It's a nice little bee house. I may even stuff a little straw in there, but I think this is what I was talking about is a good option for the bees. But let me look to see. This is a really good garden center, and I'll look to see if they have any others, because if I could get a larger one I would, and I may just get 2 of those because I really like that price. And so it appears that they continue to put the bee houses next to the bird feeders, and I guess that's a good combination to sit them with. But here's the same one that I saw up front, and I'm still shocked over that price. Yep, it's still £5, $4.99. And there's next to the bird feeders. That appears to be the only ones that I see. Here's some other bird feeders, and here's a lot of bird feeders. And there's that same little bee house hanging up here. No, this is a different design. That's good. That's good. Here we go. This is a little more expensive, but I like this design as well. This is one, I guess it would just kind of hang from a tree. It actually appears to be two-sided. Nope, that's all the way through. So it's still all the way through. Ah, and here we are. This is what I've been looking for, guys. This is exactly what I was hoping to find. This is what I wanted. Something a bit more dynamic that'll give me the opportunity to be more thoughtful, because I wanted to be able to support more than just one type of solitary bee. So there are these here, and then there's this one, which has those holes in there, but I don't know if that holes all go into one space. And there's this one, which is really nice, kind of larger. But this is really what I was hoping for, where you get the opportunity to have the space for the solitary bees, but this bark allows for wood lice and other insects to be able to get in there, lay eggs, and also functionally use this space as well. So this is what I was hoping to find, the opportunity to be more thoughtful and expressive with the bee houses that I get. So this is really pretty, just kind of smaller, but I like that design. It just kind of packed in there really well. And if I was more handy, you could always make this frame and then buy these little canes. If you wanted to use the garden canes to make your own, these are the perfect canes. Look at this. This is hollow. So you could take these, cut these into sections, and you could use these size canes and kind of put them inside of a structure and create your own. And so I may do that as well. That's what I was going to do. If I couldn't find one, I was going to make my own. But I wanted to make something that was really nice. It also provided the proper shelter for the bees. Okay, so I just showed you how you can make your own if you wanted to do that. But if you want something that's a bit more aesthetically appealing, I think this is definitely the way to go. And I love this extra section, which will allow, and how much is this one? This is 24 pounds. And so this is 5 pounds more than the other ones, but this is just such a more dynamic insect house. It's just such a more dynamic insect house. So here we are. This is what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna spend 30 pounds and I'm gonna get this one for 25 and this one for 5. And this will give me an opportunity to put in 2 houses that can support native bugs and insects and allow them to thrive. I'm gonna put these up high. Well, I'll show you when we get home where I wanna place them. But I think this is a really nice option. And I love this because it actually has a little slate top and it's gonna last for a long time and it's gonna be a great home for insects. When you're considering things like conservation, you should always think about what little thing you can do to help. And it may seem small. These tiny little houses that I'm buying will only help a small segment of insects. But if we're all doing a little bit, add a little bit to our gardens to be more helpful to the helpful and beneficial insects, and even the insects that's not so beneficial to us directly, but as a part of the food web, if we could help those insects, then we should all do our little part that we can. So taking in consideration the layout, there are the fruit trees loaded down with apples this year. And I do a bit of patio gardening, the rose bushes there are my giant pumpkins. So I decided that this little grove is a perfect location, kind of sheltered here in this spot, to place the bug or insect hotel. And here you are, really nice. I think I wanted it up high to make sure that the insects would be the right ones in there. I didn't want ants crawling up in there, getting in there and trying to nest in it. So I wanted it to be up high, but not so high that birds could not find it. And then on the other side of this same little grove, I placed the other one facing in a different direction, a little bit more secluded, but I think this is going to be a wonderful location for those insects to be able to go in, nest, lay eggs, and then next year produce even more insects. That's what I'm looking forward to, producing more insects. As I stated, I want to be a bit more considerate as a gardener. This all started because I was looking at my tomatoes and I see blooms, but I don't see enough bees. And I started to do a little bit of research and I identified the fact that the UK has lost a lot of insects, it's lost a lot of birds, and I lost a lot of bugs. So I can't do much, but the little bit that I can do, I think these little insect hotels and insect houses will help those solitary bees, will hopefully help some other insect species, and help provide wonderful locations for them to grow, nest, and brood. Hey guys, if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. But until next time, take care.